All right, so we're here with Paul Pratt. We're doing a PBS special. Concussions, CTE, and amazing sport athletes.
Yeah.
NFL players.
Yeah. Cool.
What's up? I'm Brandon.
Brandon, how you doing, Brandon?
All right, good deal. What was it like? What was it like? First off, have you ever, how many times were you seriously hit hard? Seriously hit hard?
Seriously hit hard?
Yes.
I was probably seriously hit hard, really going back to even Pop Warner, maybe 3 times my whole life.
Really?
Yeah, one time I was a little kid, I never forget, I fumbled.
Yeah.
I never get that hit. One time in college, I hit it real hard. I was actually bringing it, but I was actually dazed myself. And another time, you know, somewhere in my professional career in a game against the Broncos, one time I was hit pretty hard, twice by the same guy. So, yeah. Not that many times I've been hit that hard, but yet I'm still hit. I hit hard, so whether I feel the effect or not, I think your brain is still being rattled quite a bit there, so yeah.
Yeah. What did you experience? What was it like? Because you were living such a high life as a player, right? Mm. What was it like having to have something that kind of took you down? What was it like?
Well, it was pretty devastating. You know, when you initially get into the NFL, you think you're going to play forever. Yeah. You know, I think the key number is 10 years. Everybody hopes to go to 10 years, and everybody thinks they can go do 10 years. But, you know, it's a business, and, you know, sometimes your dream becomes your nightmare, but you have to be grateful.
What became a nightmare for you? What do you mean?
Well, just like you didn't think your dream was what you expected it to be. You know, something you want to do all the way since you're a little kid, and then you finally get to that platform, that level, and it's like, you know, it's not all I expected to be. It's a lot more involved, a lot more stress involved than you think it would be, because it's not just about football per se. It's more about numbers and money. So, you know, once that get involved in, you know, how certain people treat you, certain organizations may treat you, or whether the GM or the pro personnel or the coaches, they all have this certain, you know, like definition of who you are, and that's who you are, and it's like you can't get out that mold unless you really prove them differently or they give you a chance. So, you know, you kind of walk into the building every day like, you know, either you're going to feel ashamed because you don't feel like you're good enough to play, or you're going to say, you know what, I don't care how heavy I feel, I'm Paul Pratt, I'm going to perform every day.
So sometimes you would push yourself beyond what you even knew you could handle because you wanted to so badly.
Yeah, I was 100% an overachiever, and you know, me being hindsight, I wish I brought the same work ethic as I did when I was playing, but I didn't worry that much. I wish I was too worried about what was going to happen, who they're going to keep, and where I'm at. I wish I didn't worry about that. You know, looking back, I shouldn't have worried about that. I think that would help me play even more loose. And when they see you, an athlete, not worried, he plays more confident, and they like that confidence because that means they're able to rise up in adversity.
So on average, of course, everybody in charge would, from the business side of things, would want you to perform your best. They're incentivized for you to perform beyond no matter what happens to you, whatever kind of hit you take.
Yeah. Some do, some don't, because, you know, some of these coaches, they bring in their own players who they want to see play. So, you know, if you're on a team to where you don't have that many people backing you up, but they want you to do well, but maybe the person that in the position the same as you, they want them to play. So they may show them a little more attention, a little more love, and, you know, to elevate them so they can start. Because if that person plays that they bring in, that makes the coach look better. So
even between the players, you probably have a lot of pressure, like energy and aggression to do better and perform better no matter what.
Yeah, it's every day. You know, there's cameras out every day. You know, it's not only the media cameras, but also, you know, the team cameras as far as practice cameras. So you have, and everything gets evaluated every day, you know, depending on who you are. Now, if you're somebody who has a large salary cap, you know, they're not going to worry about too many of your mistakes. But when you're somebody that's coming from a free agent background like me, that's trying to make the roster, that's always on the bubble, then little thing matters, not just on the field, but off the field too. So you got to kind of be perfect.
So you're pressured to perform no matter what.
Yeah.
Of course.
You pressure, yes. You pressure to say things correctly. You pressure to perform at your best. You pressure to not make mistakes.
What's it like being hit really hard? What does it feel like?
It depends on where you get hit really hard. You know, it doesn't feel good to get hit really hard in your legs because you can bend them backwards in certain ways. That doesn't feel well. You know, unfortunately, I tore my ACL, but it's self-inflicted, so nobody took me out. So I've never been hurt by another human being before while playing football. I've been hit hard, but you know what? When you're in the zone, you kind of don't feel it. So that's why some people that may get concussions continue to keep playing during the game because it's like, oh, it's just part of football.
Because they don't feel it.
Yeah.
So they're not aware of the damage they've sustained.
No.
Really?
Yeah. Adrenaline can take over. Sometimes adrenaline takes over. You're not, you know, it is what it is. You don't even feel nothing. You're in the game. If it's fourth quarter, third quarter, and the game's on the line, you get banged up a little bit. You know, 95% of the players not coming out.
What's a story that you've been through, a friend you know that has gotten hit really hard, but aggression, they kept playing, didn't even act like they faced them?
I mean, I've seen that story. I can go through countless athletes, not just from NFL or college, but from high school and, you know, Pop Warner, you know what I mean? I mean, that's part of the culture, though. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to get phased and get hit hard.
Say that again. You're
not supposed to get phased. You're not supposed to show it, at least. If somebody got you, you're supposed to get up. So if you're in pain, you know, don't show the pain. You know, maybe come out for a play, but you got to go back in there. That's the culture that the football brings. That's good, and you know, because it's like a style of, you know, of hardcore, you know, soldier type of mindset, but it's dangerous because it can be very unhealthy as well. Yeah.
What do you know that you have to do? Like just health-wise, after you've left the league, what do you know you have to do? What are you doing?
I believe when you leave the NFL, or even if you at a star college, I believe the first thing you have to do is get therapy. Get therapy because, I say that because imagine doing something your whole life, all of a sudden it's not there no more. I think, you know, as being a football player, you kind of put on a higher pedestal, whether you're at a major university, and usually everybody kind of being at your feet. Well, you know, once that stops and the lights go off, you know, not everybody's not at your feet anymore. So you may take a little ego bruise, and some people not be able to transition that because usually things coming your way. So I think it's important that whether they're at a top college or just stop playing football in general, to get some type of therapy on reality and getting back to the real world and knowing that, hey, I'm a human. Football was a part of me, but it's not who I am. I think that's important.
What would a player most likely feel? What sort of sensations, experiences, fears, stress, inadequacies after they leave the league?
What's next? Yeah. You know, anytime you have the unknown of what's next, it can be fearful. Depending on who you are and your financial situations, you know, you're most likely not going to make checks that big per se. So you may kind of worry about how you're going to pay your bills because, you know, your money, that check stops, but your bills don't. So, you know, a lot of people, if you had a habit of overspending all the time, you know, that's going to end up catching up with you in a few years. You know, 75 to 80% of the league, whether the first round to free agent, end up going, you know, broke after 2 years out of the NFL. So it doesn't matter where you get drafted, though. You know, a lot of people, you know, stress out, and I think people spend more money after the NFL just to make up for that empty space.
Did you feel that? What was it like for you?
When I first stopped, I was in denial. So it was like
denial of,
I thought I was still there. Like, you know, like you break up with a girl, it's like, oh, she's still there. She you know, football is the worst breakup you're ever going to have. You're going to break your heart one way or another. That's for sure. So I feel like I was in denial. You know, I mean, a couple weeks went by. I was like, oh, I'll be picked up again. You know, I watched Detroit Lions, you know, play games. I watched all my friends perform. I said, I'll be back. They'll call me back. And then 2 weeks went by, you know, 3 weeks and a month and 2 months, and it's like, oh, they don't want me no more.
Wouldn't you feel a feeling of fear of inadequacy? You have to.
Yeah, you definitely feel inadequate. You definitely feel less than a man. You definitely feel like a failure.
How am I going to prove myself, right?
Yeah, so either one of two things. Either you rise up and straighten up your body, straighten out your life, or you spiral down, and you use different substances to fulfill that empty space, which that can either lead to something real dangerous down the line if it keep happening over time.
What did you do? What did you do to fill the gap, fill the emptiness, and even just maintain sort of physical exercise, regimented exercise?
I wasn't really working out that much, but I did, a month out of me being released, which I was baffled that I wasn't picked up again because I had a great last preseason game. I started working at actually a boys' home, and the boys' home, these troubled kids, they they have a lot of real issues, drug issues. These kids are come from bad families, and they have therapy 3 times a week, 4 times a week, and 2 times of the week that I was there, I was with them in their therapy, helping. But me being in their therapy session was actually therapy for me as well, because I got a chance for everybody to open up their feelings, how they felt, and you got a chance that what people do struggle, people do have real lives. When you get on another level with the NFL, and I was in a league, but I wasn't on some levels some people were. You kind of get immune to issues, and you kind of think you're above it. But that was kind of a jolt back to reality to know that, hey, I'm not, I'm just like everybody else. I have issues now. I have to really deal with them now, head on. And I think that was important. I think that's really helped me. That first year and a half out was pretty tough. And I was at that boys' home helping these mentor kids. Best thing is to just keep going and not to be stagnated, because the longer you're stagnated, the harder it's going to get for you to get out that hole.
That's fantastic. You even think that players with your sort of experience, physique, reputation, star power can have a lot of good for especially boys, young boys in the community, right? We could do a lot of good, couldn't we? Mm-hmm. Boys, right? Yeah. That's kind of what you've done.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. Even, as I was playing in before that, I've always been a mentor, always been a help to people. So
you can be a mentor to young boys.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Can more players do that?
I think that's their responsibility. I just feel like if you were blessed with a gift and knowledge to play a certain level of football, and blessed with a certain resources, and blessed that you make some right choices to able to reach your goal, I think you should share that. I mean, why would you keep it to yourself? You don't want to die with all your knowledge. You want to give it away to the right people, the right way. So,
that's
yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah.
Paul Pratt for the half an hour. Good meeting you. You're fantastic, man. You're an inspiration to me too.
Thank you.
Awesome, man.
Thank you so much.
Good deal.